welcome to makeready and to Labelexpo. Today we're going to show you how the Performance Series is the perfect solution for your short run needs. Introduce Darren Collins, Jeff Feltz, and we're going to show you how the Performance Series is changing the rules when it comes to short run production. So first, let's talk about short runs. The industry is being faced with shorter and shorter run lengths every single day. And as a converter, you're just trying to figure out how do you make a profit with those short runs. Over the past several years, digital has been positioned as the only available solution to meet those needs. We're going to show you today how the Performance Series is giving you another option for your short run needs. So first, when we talk about short run, what is a short run? Depends who you ask. Every single customer we've talked to gives us a different answer. Some will say it's 1,500 meters. Others will say it's 200 meters. It's that big of a range. What I can tell you is that this is a 275 meter job, and this is the kind of average job that you can run more profitably on this solution than the most common digital solutions. Now to prove our point, we're going to do a demonstration today. We're going to set up 4 different jobs in about 6 minutes. Darren, you ready to get going? Let's start. Now for our demonstration today, you'll notice we're running printing only, no inline converting, and we're doing that as a comparison to the most common digital solutions, where they're printing only as well. When we talk about short-run flexo, there's 3 areas that have been costly. Make-ready time, make-ready waste, and plate cost. We just watched Darren quickly load 4 cylinders into the press, and you'll notice that there's no intrusive cover blocking access to the station. The Performance Series has a load and lock ink system. You simply lower the components in place, and with one motion, everything's locked in place the same way every single time. But Darren is using our pre-registration system to quickly set this job up and register. So after that cycle completes, with a few minor adjustments, we're going to be off and running. Now with the advantages of this printhead, we can set up an entire station, including ink and setting impression, in about 30 seconds. But Darren has just finished our first of 4 jobs. We're running a health and beauty label for this first job. You can see on the screen we are in perfect registration. Okay, let's go to our second job, Darren. For our second job, we're going to do a version change. We're going to run a different version of the same label. And if you're like most customers we've spoken with, a significant number of your short run work is just that. It's versions. Versions of the same job. Now watch as Darren puts a cylinder in place, it will automatically position itself to the other cylinders in the press. This is enabled by a re-registration system. So this is a perfect complement for short run versioning work. And again, with a few minor tweaks to our registration, we'll be off and running on our second job in well under 3 minutes. There we go, 2 jobs down, total time under 3 minutes. Okay, so we talked about make-ready time. Let's talk about waste, another factor in short-run flexo. What we're going to do is we're going to show you live. We're going to pull all 4 cylinders out. We're going to set up a second job. This time we're going to run a wine label. We're going to pull a sample off the press after this next changeover and show you the last good label we just printed to the first good label on the next job to show you how little changeover waste is possible in this press. Darren? Now you'll also notice that we're changing our repeat size. But yet, Darren will not have to make a single adjustment to his ink or impression settings, even though the repeat size is different. You'll also notice that we're going to a much smaller cylinder. We're going from an 80-tooth cylinder down to a 56-tooth cylinder. And you might be thinking, why would you want to do that? Well, the answer is plate cost. Flexo plate costs are the single biggest cost component when it comes to short-run flexo production. You want to make sure you can minimize the size of that plate, both in the repeat direction and the width direction, to get the plate cost to be as minimal as possible. So we're running a 56 tooth job right now, but we can go as small as 44 tooth. So again, if you're truly running short run work, it makes absolutely no sense to have a big repeat size. Instead of having 4 labels around, maybe you have 2 around. Another way we can reduce plate costs is in width. If you're running short run production, it doesn't make sense to necessarily use the full width of the press. Again, this is nothing new for flexo, but it's worth pointing out. So again, if you're truly running a short run job, maybe it makes sense to run 1 label across or 2 labels across as opposed to 4 or 5. The third way we can save on short run plate cost, you've already seen, it's called versioning. If a lot of your work is simply versions of the same job, many of those plates are being reused for multiple jobs, further dividing that cost amongst several different jobs. By combining all of these different techniques, you can reduce your plate cost by upwards of 80% on short run flexo production. So Darren has just finished our 3rd job. We will now pull a sample of waste off to show you how little changeover waste is possible on the Performance Series. Okay, so let's find our last label here. You can see our last job here in registration. You see where we stopped the press, the amount of web that was in the press, and then we threw, or we added our next cylinders in where the yellow begins, down to where Darren is pointing is the first good label on our wine job. So again, we're at about 7 meters roughly of changeover waste. So again, imagine just what this can do, not only for your short run profitability, but your everyday production. You're talking about significant waste savings, less material that has to be purchased, less material that you have to pay to dispose of. So let's do our last job. For our last job, we're going to do a version change on our wine label. We're going to simply change out 1 black cylinder and go to the next. And again, the cylinder will automatically position itself to the other cylinders in the press. And with a few minor registration tweaks, we're off and running on our 4th job. And there you go. 4 jobs. Darren's total time on press is around 6 minutes. Pretty amazing. So, to recap, we talked about the drivers for short run flexo cost. Make ready time, make ready waste, and plate cost. You've seen how fast we can set up in the Performance Series. We can do complete station setups in about 30 seconds. You've seen how little changeover waste is possible, and you've learned all the different ways you can optimize your plate cost. We also said at the beginning that this is the kind of average job, 275 meters, that you can run more profitably on this solution than the most common digital solutions in the market today. So the question is, what is your mix of short run work? If you're truly running ultra short runs, or you're running 100 labels here or 500 label jobs, and that's the majority of your work, then you should go buy a digital press. That is the right fit, no question. If your short run work is more like this, and based on a lot of the converters we've spoken with, that is the case, then this is the right solution for you. And not to mention the fact that this has a significantly lower capital cost than the most common digital solutions in the market today. So the purpose of this demonstration is just to get everybody to think. The market has been conditioned to think that digital is the only opportunity for short run work. It's a good solution depending on your mix of jobs and your run lengths. But this gives you another option that is applicable to most converters in the industry. You're just trying to figure out a way to make profit on your short run work. It's not about digital or any technology. It's just about trying to find the right solution for your needs. We hope this has opened your eyes a bit. Appreciate your time. Enjoy the show.